Greetings on what has been a beautiful Monday in the neighborhood. Summer-like temperatures return. Even warmer today than over the course of your very nice weekend. Changes are on the way, though, and they're going to roll in a few days. And stick around. Ride the forecast right on out through your Memorial Day weekend to some degree. We're talking about the possibility right now, at least, of some thunderstorms and some heavy rains at times. I'll give you the timeline and outline in just a few seconds in hopes that it will only improve forecast-wise from here on out through the rest of the week. Mostly indictments making headlines tonight. A full rundown of all those returned by the sitting Mcgoffin County and Johnson County grand juries late last week. I just took a camera to the Mcgoffin County Fiscal Court meeting, which began at 5, a special session, because tomorrow is Election Day. Please get out and vote. Of course, it won't take long. Lines will be short, sad to say. Nevertheless, you have your presidential race and that for Hal Rogers' office and the seat, which of course he is seeking re-election for. A simple ballot for tomorrow. And the bottom line is, in my opinion, I don't think you have a right to complain about anything if you don't go at least out and vote. With that said, please, in all seriousness, get out and vote tomorrow. With that said, I don't think you can see, I think I'm blocking the flagman in downtown Sagersville right now, but they started blacktopping starting at the Colony Farm, which they started Friday, but they picked up there, and they've been making their way towards the red light and in front of the studio here, and they're going to continue on Route 40 as weather permits, and it will for a little while. But if you can make your way around Sagersville tomorrow, certainly around school time and the like, it's good advice because they are paving in downtown Sagersville. A couple of other things before we go anywhere else. Another employee of the state charged with theft, this time over $440,000, 500 different transactions, as 35-year-old Brittany Joyce May. I do not know where she's from as of right now, but a former employee with the Cabinet for Health and Family Services through this month reportedly has created accounts at various banks using names and social security numbers of Cabinet clients, and then having the debit cards from the accounts sent to her home in Frankfort, as I guess I do understand where she is from. Fraudulently collecting over $444,000 at 4 different banks. Wire fraud that's punishable up to 20 years in prison. Several counts she is now potentially facing in an indictment that was made public today. A couple of other things real quickly. Family and friends and classmates and the like of an East Ridge High School student said their goodbyes today after she died in a crash Friday morning. It was Friday morning on Route 80 in Elkhorn City that 17-year-old Zena Newsom was traveling in her 2010 Jeep Wrangler. She struck an embankment, the vehicle overturned, and she was pronounced dead at the scene. As well as 2 people, a 77-year-old man and his 32-year-old son, identified to be identified by the Letcher County coroner, passed away Sunday after a house fire in the Fleming Neon community on a Henry Hutton Drive. With that said, I'll pick up indictments out of Mcgoffin County right after this.
Atrial fibrillation is one of the more common rhythms we see.
AFib is an arrhythmia of the heart where the top part of the heart is beating erratically and out of sync with the bottom part of the heart.
The electrophysiology service is made up of a team of healthcare providers, and that includes an electrophysiology lab where we're able to do procedures to help repair heart rhythm problems. When a patient becomes heart rhythm free, it can really restore their life.
ARH, more for Appalachia.
Thanks to you, Fraser's Prater Drug has been voted #1 in customer satisfaction with Good Neighbor Pharmacies for the 7th year in a row. With curbside pickup for all of your prescription, allergy, or even multivitamin needs. Or come in and pull up a stool while you shop, or just visit downtown and treat yourself to something extra tasty or sweet. where locally owned means a more personal, reliable, and friendly pharmacy. Frazier's Prater Drug. Whether you've got a new ride and you want it to stand out in the crowd, or you want your current ride to look and feel like a new one, no one does lifts, wheels, and tires better than Conley's. Stop in now for spring tire specials, free quotes, and 0% financing, or log on to conleytire.net. A complete list of indictments returned last Thursday by the sitting Mcgoffin County Grand Jury. A first recap, however, of the 3 that I reported on Friday. Those the first 3, followed by the rest of those, making the total of some 14 indictments, I believe, returned. 2 of those indicted are Jerry Finch and Felicia Crace. They were arrested after a traffic stop on the Mountain Parkway in which there was quantity of methamphetamine and other drug paraphernalia found, believed to be used for trafficking. This after Kentucky State Police pulled over a vehicle on March the 21st for speeding, and then that car being driven by Jerry Dale Finch, 46 of Sagersville, 34-year-old Crace of Jackson was a passenger in the vehicle. Each named in 2 separate indictments. Finch named for possession of a handgun by a convicted felon, and in the separate or other indictment, trafficking in a controlled substance methamphetamine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Crace as well named in 2 separate indictments, possession of a handgun by a convicted felon, and trafficking in a controlled substance methamphetamine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. The third and last indictment that we can report out this evening is that of Jeffrey Marshall of East Maple Street in Sagersville, indicted for burglary in the 3rd degree, criminal mischief in the 3rd degree, and criminal trespassing in the 3rd degree on or around the 29th day of February, when he went into the Dollar Tree and burglarized that Sagersville business, causing significant loss of damaged property or goods to the store. He has been jailed now for the past few weeks on the before-mentioned charges. Going on to new indictments, William T. Perkins of Sagersville was indicted for custodial interference after investigation and presentation to the grand jury was brought by the Kentucky State Police. State Police Trooper Tracy Salyer also presenting a case to the grand jury of Charles M. McGuire, indicted for a single count of possession of a handgun by a convicted felon. 36-year-old Robert Miller of Sagersville was named in 2 separate indictments, both related to the same investigation by the Kentucky State Police. One indictment carrying a charge of possession of a handgun by a convicted felon, the other for trafficking in controlled substance methamphetamine and fleeing and evading police on foot in the 1st degree. 47-year-old Michael D. Williams of Sagersville, indicted on account of possession of a controlled substance in the 1st degree. James G. Bailey of Sagersville was indicted on a count of assault in the 2nd degree domestic violence for events that took place back in August. Armando Elizondo, 24, of Lexington, was named in 2 separate indictments, one for possession of a handgun by a convicted felon, and the other for trafficking in a controlled substance, 1st degree cocaine, trafficking in marijuana under 5 pounds, failure to register a motor vehicle, and failure to maintain insurance on that vehicle. This after being stopped by state police here in Sagersville on the Mountain Parkway this past March. 42-year-old Kent Simpkins of Sagersville was indicted on a charge of possession, actually 3 counts of possession or viewing matter portraying a sexual performance by a minor under the age of 12, distribution of matter portraying sexual performances by a minor under the age of 12, possession or viewing matter, 2 counts portraying a sexual performance by a minor under the age of 12, and sexual crimes against animals. This case, of course, goes back that we have covered back on March the 21st. He was in court here in Sagersville regarding the same charges. His case was bound over to a grand jury. He was free on bond with stipulations that required him to be supervised around any minors. According to the original arrest citation, during an online undercover Kentucky State Police Internet Crimes Against Children investigation, police learned that someone had uploaded a video of a minor in a sexual performance. Determining that they believed it was him, they obtained a search warrant for his home and began the criminal investigation, executing a warrant on February the 13th at his residence. During an interview, earlier reports that we aired said he reportedly admitted to operating the account and seeing the material in question. The press release also said that the equipment used to facilitate the alleged crimes were seized at the time and sent to the KSP's forensic laboratory for examination. Next, indictments out of Johnson County, beginning with a number of people indicted for being complicit with each other in charges of assault and unlawful imprisonment. Laura Hope Williams, as well as Charlotte Wallen and Rebecca Fairchild, and not shown is a Leslie Faith Light and a female juvenile who have all been named in indictment, allegedly for assault in the second degree, complicity, and unlawful imprisonment in the first degree complicity. This goes back to this past July, around the 18th. The initial police report filed by the Paintsville Police Department saying that Light came into a store, business in Paintsville, and made contact with a victim, a female, pushing her down against a piece of furniture, the victim getting back up and trying to hit Light back in self-defense. Light then grabbing the victim by the neck and throwing her on the ground. And then after that, Williams reportedly got involved, climbing on top of the victim, holding her down, punching her, Fairchild kicking her in the head, according to the original arrest citation. The individual was also pushing down on the victim's neck, and the female juvenile recording the whole thing on her cell phone. There were also images that were reportedly captured from the business's security camera that were considered evidence by the police. In another pair of indictments, two men said to be complicit with each other in the same investigation or case. Charles Hall, to your right, indicted for burglary in the second, persistent felony offender in the first degree for at least 2 prior felonies, fleeing and evading police on foot, and resisting arrest. Danny Van, who's to your left, burglary in the second, complicity, being a persistent felony offender as well in the first, possession of burglar tools, fleeing and evading police on foot, and resisting arrest. This is after burglarizing a Paintsville home on Cactus Drive this past December 20th. 34-year-old John Strong of Paintsville indicted for theft by unlawful taking, over $10,000, receiving stolen property over under $1,000 rather, and operating on a suspended license. This goes back to this past November when he reportedly was in possession of a stolen ATV, a brand new ATV stolen from Lowe's of Paintsville, worth an estimated $11,700. And when police arrested him, he was also reportedly in possession of a stolen wallet from an individual who had passed away, with property valued under $1,000 inside the wallet and including the wallet. John King, 29, of Paintsville, indicted for possession in the first degree for methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and public intoxication. 49-year-old Jeremy Burchett of Paintsville was indicted for trafficking in a controlled substance within 1,000 feet of a school, being a persistent felony offender in the first degree, and possession of a controlled substance in the second as well. This for trafficking in methamphetamine close to Central Elementary. Indicted on charges of possession of methamphetamine, operating on a revoked operator's license, and no or expired registration plates, and improper display of any registration plates, was 42-year-old Michael Ferguson of Flat Gap. And lastly, out of Johnson County, indicted for possession of a controlled substance, first degree methamphetamine, third offense, operating motor vehicle under the influence, third offense, and other traffic violations, was 46-year-old Michael Meeks of Flat Gap. And there was also an indictment returned out of Johnson County with a summons issued and not an arrest warrant in the name of, however, Joshua Stephen Cass, C-A-S-S, for theft by unlawful taking, for committing that crime by unlawfully taking more than $10,950 from another individual with the intent to deprive them of their money. I'll be right back. Raise your hands. Who thinks math is hard? Now, who thinks feeding a family of 4, 6, 8, or 10 is even harder? Well, so do we. Welcome to Math and a Meal Made Easy. Did you know you can get a family meal deal at your Sayersville Lee's for as low as $4.61 a person with bone-in chicken, $4.15 a person with our famous strips? That's chicken sides and biscuits. Count to 100, thank a math teacher. feed a family for less? Come to your Sayersville Lee's.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in small town values.
And mom and dad and the things they handed down.
I believe some of the best people in the world are farmers.
I believe in insurance that protects families, homes, and cars. I believe in always finding a way to do what you love. I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
Spring isn't the only season here. It's also senior season. It's a season for love, a season for Jesus, and a season to shop local at the Seasonal Shop. With spring colors, styles, and fashions by Charlie Page and Simply Southern, and more of your favorites, new arrivals in bags and totes and jewelry and more. And they've got everything lemon lavender, spa essentials for a little at-home pampering. And from simple to chinoiserie, must-see home decor is at the Seasonal Shop in downtown Sayersville. Someone dies in the U.S. every 7 minutes from an overdose, and over half of the population gets or takes pills from a friend or a relative. And about 46 million and counting are exposed to narcotics in their drinking water. So don't toss them, flush them, or leave them lying around. Safely dispose of your unneeded meds anytime at Parkway Pharmacy.
Where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
You ready to graduate? Yeah, I'm so ready to go.
I can't believe we're graduating, guys.
Well, at least this won't be the last time we see each other.
Yes, we'll all be together again in our 10-year class reunion. And I can't wait.
Come on, guys. Let's take a picture so we'll have it at our class reunion.
3, 2, 1.
Don't leave your friends standing alone at your class reunion. Stand up for what you think is right. Say no to drugs.
Choosing our future, staying drug-free.
It's never too late to talk with your parents, doctor, counselor, teacher, or another adult you can trust. For more information on drug prevention and treatment options, contact the Mcgoffin County Health Department at 606-349-6212.
Now it's community calendar time, brought to you by Mcgoffin Farm Bureau. Just a quick reminder for you, you've got time to be a vendor. $15 for vendors, $30 for food booths. If you're interested in either, call Janice at 496-9996. For everyone else, look forward to the next Trader Days, sponsored by the Royalton Community Council at Half Mountain Park, Saturday, June the 1st. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not this weekend, but next. It will be June. There you go. Just something to think about. Remember, when you've got calendar announcements, birthdays, and anniversaries, think about putting them here. From there, we'll go to funeral service announcements. Updated this evening, we'll begin with services which are to start in the morning at 11 for 39-year-old Kenneth Jr. Bailey of Sayersville. He passed away Thursday. Born in Indiana to Charlie and Starlet Gibson Bailey. He survived by his parents, his two sisters, Lisa Bailey Watkins and Tanya Bailey Patrick, and a host of nieces and nephews, family, and friends. Kenneth Jr. is preceded in death by two brothers, Brian Neal and Charlie Bailey Jr. Again, services Tuesday, tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock from the Mcgoffin County Funeral Home. 74-year-old Rita Salyer of Sayersville passed away Saturday. Born to the late Clyde and Delcy Gilliam Johnson. She's survived by her husband Gary, her daughters Kimberly Carol Lewis, Patricia Yvonne Powers, and Misty Dawn Salyer, son Gary Jerome, and brother Lawson Johnson, and sister Carol Spradlin, as well as 15 grandchildren and 6 great-grandkids. Services start tomorrow at 2 from the Mcgoffin County Funeral Home. Friends can visit the funeral home till 9 tonight. Services begin Wednesday morning at 11 for 46-year-old Melanie June Jackson of Longstreet in Flatwoods, Kentucky. She passed away Friday. Her husband Matthew Crisp and sister Tammy Sue Fletcher also preceded her in death. She's survived by her mother, Bonnie Jean Rao, daughters Randy Jackson Hicks and Melody Rianne Jackson, her son Matthew Wayne Jackson, her sister Sherry Lynn Gibson, and 8 grandchildren. A graveside service for Melanie June Jackson will be held here in Sagersville Wednesday at 11 from the Rao Family Cemetery in Oakley. The family will meet family and friends at the cemetery prior to 11 o'clock services. There where every day starts, it's made and it ends. From hitting the floor to hitting the road and back, your feet carry the day's duties. And if you're hurting from what might be a work or sports or stress-related fracture you don't even know about, diabetic, or that all too often heel pain that just won't go away, or any type of pain or discomfort or in need of wound care, come to where they care.
Put your best foot forward and come visit our podiatry team. We care about our patients and their feet.
That's Dr. Cheney and her team at Hope Family Podiatry Center next to Hope Family Pediatrics on the Mountain Parkway. Oh, and by the way, sorry for the late start tonight. I had some audio issues that I really haven't fixed, but I had a workaround and got that going, and it was actually audios in studio and not on the output, so my apologies. With that said, 82 degrees is where we're at. Feels more like 84, just a little bit humid out there. Humidity around 50% or so. We saw 90 degrees is what I clocked in downtown Sagersville on the dot earlier today. It was a warm summer-like day. Winds out of the east at a mile an hour right now. Had a 13-mile-per-hour gust earlier. That was about it. Sunrise 6:19, sunset at 8:41. A beautiful summer-like day, the likes of which we will see for a few more days. However, a cold front comes in by midweek, and it's going to put the brakes on, and with it, when it does midweek and thereafter, low pressure is going to take advantage of the opportunity and potentially mess up the last part of our week and our Memorial Day weekend. Let's take a look as you're looking at now the 7-day data. 56 tonight, patchy fog and mostly clear skies. A beautiful Monday evening in the neighborhood tomorrow. Back into the upper 80s, we will climb. Some patchy fog lingering in the morning to about 9 or so. Otherwise, mostly sunny, upper 80s, 87, a solid bet for tomorrow. Clear skies tomorrow night, nighttime lows hovering around 60 degrees. More patchy fog tomorrow night into your Wednesday morning. Otherwise, Wednesday, after the fog clears, mostly sunny. Again, 87. Nighttime lows a little bit warmer, climbing up to about 65 by Wednesday night. Winds start to be noticed out and ahead of an approaching cold front that really we won't see too much from Wednesday. Mostly sunny, 87. Winds out of the southwest, 10 to 15 at times, I think. It is right now mainly after 2 a.m. or so Wednesday night, Thursday morning, that we start to see a chance of showers and thunderstorms. And there you see Thursday, 79 and an 80% chance of showers and storms as a result of both that cold front and it's slowing down when it gets here and low pressure setting up shop as well. And there's what we're staring at through the rest of your Memorial Day forecast right now. It could change, and it could change for the better. We're watching the possibility, though, of some storms and some heavy rain at times throughout some of your 7-day. Nevertheless, Friday, mostly cloudy, 79, a 70% chance of showers and storms throughout pretty much your Friday and Friday evening on and off. Saturday, 82, 59, partly sunny, a less but still 50% chance of showers and storms. So your Memorial Day weekend is not a washout right now by any means. The worst of it looks to be Thursday and Friday, but Saturday and Sunday, both low 80s, both mostly sunny, both with a 50% chance of showers. Memorial Day Monday, perhaps more clouds than sun, and an increased 60 right now % chance of showers with a daytime high of 82. But it's just now Monday or the end of it, and this forecast will change one way or the other, or both. That'll wrap it up for tonight. Thank you for watching. A lot of news to come tomorrow. See you then.